experience while I was experimenting. So this started as a fun project, but eventually it ended up as a real-time working project. So this is basically a collaboration site where I can collaborate with the users, and I can send my survey, and then the recipients can listen to that survey, and they will be able to answer that. So it's built on React.js, Spring Boot, and Kafka, and using some OpenAI services. So most of the UI and backend portions that I have built using AI itself. So just wanted to share and get some feedback about what I was able to achieve within shorter duration. So having said that, let's go to CollabMonk.com. This is the CollabMonk.com that I was talking about. So it is collaborative. You can collaborate with your team members in real time with AI assistance, and how it works we will see. Login, and then so yeah, the collaboration session can be anything. Let's say new retro session, let's say, right? And then you can anonymize the responses if you want to, and then start collaboration. So it gives you survey link and the passcode, and help me conduct retro to multiple choice and then free text questions. So if you ask AI, probably AI will take your question and then it will try to build you the questions. So this is the free text question to multiple choice, and one free text it has given me, and you can stage these questions, and review and stage. If you want to remove, you can remove it. And then I'll just try to log in, and here I was able to log in, and then give the passcode. Here is the passcode, and join the collab session. Since I did not publish, it's still waiting for a question. I just publish it, and then the question is published, and then I can just say quality of work, and then I can see the ongoing session here and get the results. So results is quality of work is what it is showing there, and I have published one question, and let's do this. Response submitted successfully, and then probably I'll publish another question. And then you can see that question coming here, resource allocation, and then submit answer. You'll be able to see that as your response here. And lastly, I'll stage the free text question, and then publish the free text question also. And the users, since one user is just giving one response, I'll submit answer. You can just see the as a workload and as a the text as well. Since it is anonymous, we don't see any usernames or anything like that. So yeah, so basically it is it's just like Slido, where you can publish your question, and then you can ask users to respond to that question, and then finally you can end the survey, and once you refresh it, it will show you the survey has been ended. And then you can send the AI summary as well. So you can just send the AI summary, and it will send you the summary of your session, what questions have been asked, what users have been responded, and things like that. So I'll just refresh it, and then you can see the quality of work, resource allocation, all well, and one user has been responded to your question, and then the trends have also been given here. So the entire thing has been implemented, end-to-end has been implemented using AI. Most of the things are being implemented using AI itself. So we'll just quickly go through the architecture, or the so users are coming from React, and Cloudflare is there, where it secures your app, and I've gotten GoDaddy as my DNS name, and then DNS resolver I have added as the Cloudflare VPN. So anytime anybody hits my domain name like CollabMonk.com, it goes to Cloudflare VPN, and those DNS servers will take care of that, and then by doing so, it will give you some protection about analytics, security, some protection, and some cache management also it provides you. And then restrict all your traffic to the DigitalOcean pod. Only allow from Cloudflare and block 8080 and allow only 22 from your admin IP. And put everything inside your DigitalOcean using nginx, and I have Kafka and Spring Boot as backend, and OpenAI to talk to my OpenAI services, and then the Postgres to basically store my data. So that's it, and we can quickly go through the front end. I think front end kind of code is pretty much like a React code. So we have different components, like forgot password is a different component, landing page is different components, login page is different components, and we have some protected routes, authenticated routes, and yeah, so all of them are wrapped inside app.js with browser router and error boundary, and these are the different routes that are available. And I have some store, so which will kind of gives me the Redux store to store your the survey data and survey results. Yeah, so that's pretty much it from the front. I think front end is mostly like most of the code, like let's say landing page, right? So I mostly created using Claude, GPT-4o, Claude, like different things here, and I was able to do Claude Sonnet I was able to create a good quality code for the landing page. And I think the document I'm using Metal UI to get the UI ready. I think one advice I could give is if on the internet, if you find something has a good documentation, use the technology to build using AI. Like Metal UI has a good documentation, so I thought I will use it to build so that it will give me the quality code. And obviously it gave me some code, but I had to tweak it, and some of the methods were duplicated and things like that. So yeah, but eventually I think I was able to get a good quality code. So yeah, the security and the other parts also I was able to review it through code, and yeah, so most of the work that I was doing using AI itself, but you should be understanding what is the different components and how do you kind of connect those components together to build a product. But you can't just wipe code and expect everything to be working. So yeah, so having said that, we can just go through, not deep dive, but we can just go through the backend portion and CI/CD part of it in the next section. Thank you. I have organized it into a couple of things here. As you see, yeah, we have controllers, and we have some configuration files. We have some Kafka listeners here, and then all the models. These models are nothing but the tables that are in Postgres. And then repository, I'm using JPA service layer. So the controller uses the service layer to do the manipulations, and I'm using constructor based injections rather than auto void keyword, because it's kind of recommended by by Spring Boot. So yeah, and I'm also not using DTOs much, and I'm using the hash map string and object, and I'm retrieving using the you have a flexibility to send whatever you want to, and it can be dynamically adjusted, the payloads. So that's why I'm using the hash map method instead of doing the DTOs. So that's pretty much it on the backend part. Yeah, so we have configurations, course configurations, security configurations, to restrict some of the APIs to be secured and authenticated, and also and I have some socket interceptor to make sure the socket are also secured, and socket configurations is also kind of secured. So yeah, so all of them are kind of taken care using the security configurations here. So yeah, the last but not the least, if you go to the deployment part, so I was using the manual deployment part, but later I thought, okay, why not use Jenkins? So locally I have installed Jenkins, and I have a small configuration script, the pipeline configuration here. If you look at So here if you look at it, I have my remote host address, and then the path, and building front end is basically going to that directory where I'm just doing it from my local. So, and I'm using NVM to change my node version manager to 18, and then CI files we need to do to make sure that it doesn't take the warning as a failed. That's why we need to do the CI files and do the npm run build. That will generate the build folder. And then building backend is pretty simple. It's just a package, and then it will create a jar file. Obviously copying this whole jar file and the build folders, just two things, just build folder and the jar file, and then you would have some script which will start some of the services, so we'll quickly go through the deployment thing as well here. So if we go to and then to the SSH, unless this is where the deployment script is there. This is my server, and then so this has it kills the jar file and kills the Kafka, kills the Jupyter, and starts the Kafka, and writes those log files to some location, and then just builds the jar file, starts the jar file and deploys the nginx var HTML folder, the build folder, and then reloads the nginx. It's pretty much very simple shell script. This is also kind of generated. I mean, I have given the paths where I have installed, so it gave me this nice file which I can use to deploy my code. So yeah, so it will, so I think I felt using Jenkins is pretty good because it has some good pipeline stages as well. You can see how you are building front end, building back end, and then remote deploy and everything. So yeah, so that's it. So I was able to kind of build and deploy the entire application within a couple of weeks. I started as a fun project. It started as a fun project, and I was able to create the whole entire project within a month. I think I was able to do it. I had some issues initially to set up the Kafka, to set up the DNS server, the Cloudflare and rest of the stuff. But yeah, the Jenkins setup was pretty much easier. But yeah, so the overall, so what I want to say is, I think if you are willing to do some good fun project during the weekends, if you are serious about it, I think you can build a nice product using the AI. So one person is a team now, and I was able to achieve this output within like a month or so. And if you have a team, I think you can build an organization. So you have built a team of like 10 people, enthusiasts, and wanted to do something new. I think AI will enable you to do something very fast and meaningful. So yeah, so that's it, and thank you.